Okay, and we're live.
Hi, everybody. This is Latin Times El Café, and we have a very special guest today. Her name is Cinthya Carmona. She is in a tremendous movie that everyone has to see called The Tax Collector. We're going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk to Cynthia about what she's been up to. So let's bring her on. Hey,
Hello.
can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I
All
can hear
right.
you. Hear me all right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that looks
That's
like a big cafe,
Yeah, I think you
man.
need a bigger cup. That's kind of small.
You know what? It's gonna be a very long night
Oh,
because
Mm,
tonight is our screening of the tax collector, so I need to make sure that I have cafecito.
there you go. That's gonna be nice.
mm.
And
How are
what
you
is
guys
That's
doing
good.
today?
Good. We can't complain. We got our
good?
cafe.
I love it.
We're at home. We're doing the home shows. We can't complain. We're
Yeah.
doing good. We're blessed. Thank God.
I love
Healthy. You know.
How about you
which
over
is
there?
important.
How are you
Yes.
holding up? How have you been holding up through all this?
Throughout quarantine, I think I went through different phases, right? So in the beginning, it was, I think for all of us, it was just a little bit of shock. And I felt like all this pressure, like maybe I had to get a bunch of things done. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, right. Like I started seeing messages of people saying like, oh, if you don't develop a new skill or something during quarantine, then you lack discipline. And that
Hmm.
was a lot of pressure.
I
And
read that a million times too.
What?
yeah, it was a lot of pressure. And
Mhm.
finally I was like, you know what? That's not true. It's a really difficult time in the world right now, and I think we really just need to take it easy and embrace it. And that's exactly what I did for the first 2 months. I mean, mira, I'm a very active person. I'm always, in the gym and moving around. I live a very fast-paced
Yeah.
lifestyle. Soy intensa, like my mom says about me. But I had to slow down. It was like forcibly
Yeah.
slowing down. And you know what? I enjoyed it. I caught up on so many amazing TV shows. I watched all of Breaking Bad
Binge
for the
watching.
first time.
Yeah.
Maybe todo Narcos. I mean, I enjoyed myself.
We watched those too.
Yeah. I gained a little weight. I let myself eat. I cooked all my grandma's recipes that make me
Oh,
feel
that's great.
good. My mom's recipes. Lo disfruté. And I was
Yeah.
just so grateful for my health more
Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah.
And then,
That's true.
now recently it's been picking up, obviously, because the tax collector will be released on Friday next week, August
Mhm.
7th. And so now it's back to,
A little bit
the,
of a rat race.
sí, como que I'm feeling like it's back to work. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful to mix the two because it puts your priorities into place, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
first of all, you see that you don't need to leave your house as often as you think you need to leave,
That's so true.
right? I'm like, coño, you know what? I was wasting so much gas and it wasn't even
If nothing else, if nothing else, we're saving a lot of gas.
Yeah.
exactly. And I was always out. I always felt this need to go out. And now I enjoy being home and I'm so grateful for my health. And I've been able to mix the two worlds where it's like, slow down, take it easy, be grateful, be present, and just tell your loved ones that you love them every day because it's for real. It's really serious what's happening right now.
Yeah, because we never know. And and a lot of people, it's raised a lot of anxiety and fear and stuff
Sure.
like that. But really, I mean, we just all have to keep healthy and positive because a lot of that fear también can make us sick and
Oh, absolutely.
susceptible, and you know how it is, you know?
Anxiety is incredible. It's crazy that it causes more sicknesses than anything else. It
Yeah.
lowers your immune system. It's insane. I've read all about stress because of course when you live a very go 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 fast pace, you deal with a lot of that stress all the time and traveling and this and schedules and stuff.
Mhm.
So it definitely made me think about during this quarantine, during this pandemic, during these 4 or 5 months that we've had a break. It's like, how much are you nurturing your mental health?
Mhm.
And that's been really important for me because I'm a person who has anxiety and has
Mhm.
had anxiety for a while. I feel
Mhm.
like what's beautiful about this time is that I've learned to manage it. And that's a blessing. It's a gift.
Yeah.
I've been doing yoga here, YouTubing. You can find anything on YouTube.
You can, really. I mean, we're like living through the internet right now. We're just like
I
get
learned how to
together.
I learned how to do yoga. I mean, everything possible. It's amazing. But no, a lot of meditation. I did a 21-day Deepak Chopra meditation about abundance, and I feel amazing. So in spite of everything that's going on and how, dark and heavy and real, very real this all is, I've managed to find some tranquility within myself, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. What about you guys? How have you guys been handling it?
Well, we're in Florida, ya tú sabes,
We
I'm a
love
Florida
doing-
girl. I live in LA, but I'm from Florida.
What part of Florida are you from?
Miami.
Miami.
305.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
Yes.
305.
We're in Tampa Bay, but we spend time in Miami, and we do events. So we actually had an event with Calle Ocho, which
nice.
and we were there a few years. We do a Cuban sandwich festival, so it's a contest to see who makes the best Cuban sandwich. Everybody thinks they make them, and everybody thinks they know who makes the best.
Yeah, we do the International Cuban Sandwich Festival.
Oh yeah, no, it's
9 years.
It's funny because when I was just reading about you guys and just like exploring, other things that you guys have done and what you've been up to, that caught my attention. the pan con bistec, because that was my favorite. Like, you have no idea. Yo salía a bailar con mis amigas, and then at 4 a.m, that's what I would eat. And so you guys have a contest
Yes.
for like pan cubano and sandwich and like all of those things.
And we have judges. We have celebrity judges.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to come and be a judge,
can I be a judge?
Yes. And all you do is sit there and eat Cuban sandwiches.
Let me tell you, when you participate, all you have to do is make sure you hydrate and wear stretchy pants, because we have entries from all over the world. We have South Korea that comes, we have France that comes, we have England that comes. Chica, if you only know, these Cuban sandwiches is famous all over the world,
They're very real.
Yeah. So you'll have to. So once all this is over and everything's back to normal, consider yourself invited. If you want to come to Tampa Bay and be a judge, of course.
That goes
consider
for the other two here,
invited.
Shelly and Lauren too.
We're calling it into existence. It's happening. Because
All right.
I've never seen anything like that. Like, I've been to chili cook-offs and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But Cuban sandwiches?
Yeah, and you know what? We make the biggest Cuban sandwich in the world. We're up to almost 200 feet of sandwich, and that sandwich feeds over 500 homeless people
in Miami.
Yeah, so it's a great thing because it's fun to make. Like, people just, they join us and they put on their gloves and they're, they know that that's going to a good cause and it's fun, So,
that's what it's all about, and I love that you guys are doing that. That makes me so happy, and I congratulate you guys for that.
We can't wait to get back to it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm inviting
myself. So where's your family from originally? Where are you guys? What's your history?
Yeah, so I grew up in Miami, but I was actually born in Venezuela.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom had a few businesses there. She had a few laboratories, so she actually had me in Venezuela a few months premature. I was considered like a miracle baby. I was born at like 7 months. It was insane. Awesome. Yeah, but my entire family is actually from Barranquilla, Colombia.
Okay.
And that's actually where they still are. So for me, sometimes when people ask me, where are you from? I'm like, I was born in Venezuela, but I never went to Venezuela. I don't remember Venezuela. I left when I was really young.
Right.
And I'm sorry?
Right. And to top it off,
Colombia is where my family is. It's where my heart is. And so I always consider myself, Colombian and Venezuelan with Colombian roots, raised in Miami, because I lived in Miami since I was like 3 or 4 years old, up until before I came to Los Angeles. So from like 3 to, I want to say maybe 18, 19 before I moved to LA.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, Miami is home too. It's always going to be in my heart.
Yes, yes.
I love Miami.
Yeah.
You know, I love Miami because it feels almost like you're in a Latin country when you're in Miami. You know, it's like if you don't know Spanish in Miami, you might as well just forget it. You know, like
well,
really.
there's several things you have to know when you go to Miami. How to drive like a race car, drive a race car.
Yeah.
And love Cuban food and different food, the varieties that have them. And know where the good beaches are there.
Oh yeah. You know, I always tell my friends, I'm like, if you ever want to go to South America but don't want to leave the US, just go to Miami.
There you go.
That is so true.
Yeah, because it's true what you said. Like, you walk into any store, any supermarket in certain areas, especially where I grew up, like Hialeah, Miami Lakes.
Yeah.
Forget it. If you don't speak Spanish, you're the outcast. Like,
you
get one of these.
Mira este or mira esta.
Yeah, este gringo.
Yeah, I've been going to Miami since I was a little kid.
Incredible. You know, Miami is such a big part of who I am. You know, most of my friends will, especially here in LA, it's so different from Miami in so many different ways. They'll always say, like, Cinthya is a Miami girl.
There you go.
Miami through and through. It's, you know, very warm, very happy people, and just a lot of energy. Like, I feel like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I feel like us Miami people, we're always ready to go. We're always ready to dance. We're always ready to have a good time and go to the beach and we, you know, we say something a little vulgar in Spanish. Maybe I shouldn't say it, but we're always ready to just, like, you know, just party. We're always ready for that.
Yeah, we're happy though. I mean, you know, like, I think that's part of our culture, really. But in Miami, it's more because there's more people there, you know, and probably even a younger demographic, and they're just ready to, tú sabes, rumba all the time.
Thinking about it with you guys makes, you know, I feel it in my bones. But it's amazing because in Miami, there's so many Latinos.
Yes.
And it's such an incredible mix. You've got Cubans, Dominicans, Colombians, Venezuelans, you have some Mexicans, but it's such an incredible mix.
I agree.
That es lo que me hace más falta. Aunque aquí tengo muchos amigos latinos y muchos amigos, a lot of Mexican friends, which I love. I've learned so much about, you know, the incredible, you know, Mexican food and Mexican slang and just Mexican culture and traditions, which is so new for me.
Yeah.
But I do miss the Cuban food and the Colombian food here in LA. Again, to the food. I really want to go to that competition. Just bring it back.
So tell me who inspired you to become such a great actress?
Oh, well, thank you for that. I feel like I watched my mother growing up. Like, I've always said that my mother would have been a better actress had she gone into that field. But my mom is the total opposite. My mom is a scientist. Like, she's doing cancer cell and research right now. She's doing scientific research on COVID-19. When I tell you that she's a brainiac, she's something else. She's a tremenda estrella. Yeah, she's amazing. But, you know, growing up, she was always really sensitive and very emotional, and she could pick up everybody's energies. And it was the funny because she used to watch these Korean novelas. I don't know why or how. Le encantaban las novelas, but she had these Korean novelas that she used to love so much. And I would walk into the living room as a little girl and I would watch her, like, crying, watching the television. And I'm like, Mommy, you don't understand what they're saying. She's like, yes, but I feel them.
Wow.
I feel them. And she always used to tell me, like, you know, good acting is really just you should be able to turn off the volume on something and
Yeah.
understand exactly what's happening to them.
Right.
That's true.
That's
Mhm.
stayed with me
Very true.
forever, you know. Obviously,
Yeah.
I really believe that I was born with this. I feel like everybody is born with certain gifts, right?
Yeah.
To perform, whether it's acting, singing, dancing, writing, anything,
Yeah.
hosting, anything. You're born with this. So
Yes.
very early on, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. My mom was somewhat of an inspiration, even though she didn't want me to be an actress. You know, she wanted me to
Mm.
go into medicine like her, and my dad as
Right.
well. And
Yeah.
then, you know, growing up, there were other public figures that really just led the way for me. I remember watching Selena was one of the first movies. I was very little when I watched that movie, and I remember watching Jennifer Lopez's performance, and I
Yeah.
cried for like my sister will tell you if she's
Yeah.
watching this. She's a
That was
witness.
emotional for me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I cried. I remember like
Yeah.
I was just so moved. I've
Yeah.
always been very emotional, very sensitive, very musical as well. I grew up as a dancer. So I always connected. I had a very good way of just connecting. You know, I was always very much inspired by Penelope Cruz
Mm.
and her work. I think,
Yeah.
you know, she's incredible. And there were so many
Mm.
people, Rita Moreno, for
Oh
example, who
my
I got the
God.
opportunity
Oh
meet
my God. Yeah.
recently, and I completely geeked out. I grew up watching her and a lot of telenovelas, to be honest, because in
Yeah.
my house, that's all that there was. In
Yeah.
Colombia,
That's
the
typical.
novela is a big deal. You sit
Mm-hmm.
at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and you're watching your novela. And my
Mm-hmm.
sister and I would like sneak in because, you know, you shouldn't let kids watch those because they're
Yeah.
kind of sometimes.
Kind of racy.
Yes. So we would be like, you know, sneaking
Yeah.
behind,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, to watch it. So there were so many inspirations that I can go back to growing up. I was really lucky because my family, I grew up in a really religious household, and they actually didn't allow me to be an actress. I had to pretty much do it on my own or hiding. Um,
Yeah.
and so I was blessed to have una madrina, you know, a godmother. If
Sí.
you know, I'm pretty sure everybody understands que es lo que es una
Sí. No.
madrina.
Yeah. For sure. They
Yeah.
better know it.
Yeah,
I
you
know,
have
right? Yo tengo una madrina that
Mhm.
just so happened to be una like a talent agent for actors in Telemundo and
Wow.
Song. And when I was born, she always said, I don't know, I feel like this child is gonna be an artist. I just feel it. I
wow.
just know. And then it's funny because my name, Cinthya Margarita, I'm named after an actress that my mom and dad were watching in a novela. And
Hmm.
we're like, you know what? I like that name. So
Yeah.
just different things along the way that just, you know, I'm very
Yeah.
spiritual. I believe in a connection. I believe in, you know, my faith. And it's just like everything is just becoming what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
My madrina helped me so much when I first started. You know, she would have to call hidden to my house, like, hey, look, there's an audition. Let me take you to a
Wow.
class. Yeah. So a lot of people helped
Yeah.
me
That must
along
have
the
been
way,
hard.
inspired me along the way. And to
Mm-hmm.
this day, you know, like I am completely inspired by, especially, you know, female actresses and actors
Mm-hmm.
alike. Like I can't do what I do without respecting all of the people that have come before me
Sure.
that have paved the way, especially
Sure.
for me as a young actress, as a woman in this industry, and
Mm-hmm.
as a Latina. So
Yes.
I'm inspired every day. You know?
That's awesome. So tell us about some of the films you were in. You were in Greenhouse Academy, East Los
Yeah.
High. Yeah, tell us about some of those films.
Yeah, so Greenhouse, so East Los High was one of my first series. It was a really special series to be a part of. It was a series that went for 4 complete seasons on Hulu. It was an Emmy nominated show. I was so
Yeah.
fortunate to get to work on that show because I came on in the 4th season. But it was one of the first, and I believe one of the only shows at the time that had a Latino cast and crew, all Latino.
Yeah.
And it was incredible to be part of something so groundbreaking, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
to have that be my first series was a really good was a really good sign. I got to work with some incredible Latinx actors, Carlito Olivera, Alexandra Rodriguez, Gabe Echevarria, Noemi Gonzalez, who's one of my, I love her. She's in The Tax Collector with me as well, and she's killing the game right now. I just got to work with such incredible talent in East LA. So East Los High was about is a show that is following these kids in East LA in high school, right? These teens. And my character was super neurotic. I played this like Catholic schoolgirl that is kind of loca.
Yeah. That must have been a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, because it was one of those roles. I mean, I would love to show you some clips at some point or something so you can see. She was completely out of her mind. Completely. Yeah. Like this girl, when you see like a Catholic schoolgirl and you think, oh, she's all goody and holier than thou, Brandy is the total opposite of that.
Yeah.
The total opposite. Yeah. So that was really fun to play and explore. And I was the comedic relief of that season. And that was fun to play because I had just come from New York where I was doing some theater and it was very serious. And I got to make a complete fool of myself. And that's fun. That's really fun.
That's always fun.
And most of my work has been dramatic, right? Films, some very serious. I always go for very serious roles. And this was the role where I was like, I would show up to set and I would say, today I'm going to make a complete fool of myself.
Wow.
And I don't care who's watching. And it was fun. It was really fun. Greenhouse Academy was a show that I got to star in. We started it from day one, from the pilot, and we went on for 4 incredible seasons.
Wow, that's
awesome. It's a Netflix show, a Netflix original series based on an Israeli series that was very famous in Israel and different parts of the world as well. We got the opportunity to reach fans from 190 countries.
Wow.
So when I tell you that our fan base is the most incredible fandom that you can ever imagine. They're supportive. They love us so much. They followed us all 4 seasons, and I'm so grateful to have them. And recently we did get news that the show is not going to go on for a 5th season. And while I'm very sad, I'm just really grateful for that experience. And I think the show, if I can break it up, if I can compare it to something, it's kind of like Degrassi mixed with Harry Potter. It's about a high school. It's about an elite boarding school, high school that's split into like 2 different houses, like almost like a fraternity, sorority kind of thing. Like one is very athletic, the other one is very academic, and it's just their lives. We follow their lives, and there's some like sci-fi elements thrown in here and there that like shake things up on the show. But it was a lot of fun to play. I play this really incredible character named Sophie Cardona. I say incredible. I love how I call my own character incredible. But my
cool name.
Right. Sophie Cardona. She's really strong. She's a cheerleader. She's really strong. She's an aspiring journalist, but she's strong. She becomes the president of her school. She's very headstrong and driven and ambitious. And I think the proudest memory that I have about being on that show is that I got to represent myself as a Latina. Originally, my character wasn't supposed to be Latina. Her original name was Sophie Whitman. So I was actually written to be, I believe it was like Italian or American. And I remember the first day of the table read, I spoke to the showrunner, Giora, and was like, hey, if this show is going to come out in 190 countries, I need to make sure that they see this strong Latina, this strong female driven character, super intelligent. I need to make sure that they know that she's a Latina.
That's right.
And represent myself and my heritage, which I'm very, very, very proud of.
Yes.
And what I get a lot from like directors when I first started acting and producers and stuff is like, she's Latina? She's Latina? I wasn't ethnic enough at first when I first started
We
acting.
come like so different, right? I mean,
there's so
we
many
like
different
every.
styles of us. It's crazy.
And I'm like,
I don't get it.
what is ethnic? What is your, you know, they
Right.
always try to put us in a box, I think.
Mhm.
And we're so much greater than that. We've got
Yeah.
so much to offer and so many different flavors and varieties
Right.
in us, within
Yes.
us,
Yes.
that you know, I my goal is that we've removed that. We've removed that way of thinking and demystified that. Like there's only one
Mhm.
type of Latino, and instead embracing an entire spectrum of Latinx characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, so for me, that was what I'm the proudest. It's that I connected to my Latino fans all over the world, Colombia,
That's amazing.
Ecuador, Mexico, Brazil, everywhere, everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere. So that was really exciting. And you know, Tax Collector, which is
Yeah.
the
Tell us
film that
about Tax
I'm
Yeah,
Collector.
let's talk about
talk
that.
about.
Let's talk about it.
The Tax Collector is my first female lead role in a feature film of this category, directed
Yes.
by the incredible David Ayer, who, you know,
Yes.
his name needs no introduction in different rooms. Writer of Training Day, director of Suicide Squad, Bright. I mean, this guy is
Yeah.
incredible. I was always a huge fan of his work. And The Tax Collector is the story of David Cuevas, who's a tax collector who runs an organized crime group in Los Angeles. And I play his wife, Alexis Cuevas. We have two beautiful kids. We live the Mexican American dream. The
Mhm.
story takes place over 2 days. You get like an inside look at this man's life that lives two different lives. He has the Catholic, perfect family, and then he
Yeah.
has this street life that the worlds never cross until this
Yeah.
moment when
Mhm.
a new boss gets out of jail, Conejo, who I love.
Yes.
Our lives are turned completely upside down, and it causes us to just run for our lives. And it's really about, it's a film that's, it's aggressive. It's not the happy
Right.
ending always.
Right.
It's strong. Es una película muy fuerte,
Yes.
Yeah.
but it's a story that explores the price of power and the sacrifices that we have to make to keep that power. Every character deals with some kind of power, right? Some kind of power
Mhm.
struggle, some kind of
Sure.
control. My character was really interesting to play because here you have again this this now woman, not a girl anymore, who's like,
Right.
she mass on Sundays and
Mhm.
very, devout in her faith, and like you see her and she's just perfect all the time, but you find out that she's no stranger to that lifestyle that her husband
Yeah.
leads,
Yeah.
even though
Right.
she comes off as la buenecita, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was really
Loquita
interesting to
molesta.
play. Yeah, she knows more than she says she does, or
Right.
what she
Yeah.
shows off to the world. That perfect image is not as perfect, and it's actually super flawed and cracked in so many different ways, but that's what makes somebody human.
Mhm.
And I feel like that was the most interesting aspect of the character to play. And the film as a whole was an incredible experience. I've seen it. We have our first premiere tonight in Los Angeles in a couple of hours. I'm actually on my way to get my hair and makeup done. That's why I'm like,
Okay.
right
Wow.
now. Yeah,
That's
because I'm about to get
awesome.
ready.
That sounds like fun. You get to
Get
go
my
out?
hair dyed. Yeah, it's gonna be really special because it's a quarantine premiere, which I've never done in my life.
Yeah.
So we're actually gonna do it at
You
a
sit in
drive-in
plastic
theater.
booths, right? You're in a
Yeah,
plastic
we're
booth
doing
with
it in a
holes.
drive-in
Yeah.
theater. Yeah. We're doing it at a
It's
drive-in
at a
theater.
drive-in theater, you said?
It's at a drive-in. Yes, it's
Viste,
at a
I've been
drive-in.
telling him
Wow.
about that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. I didn't know about this. I've never been to a drive-in, so imagínate. On top of the nerves of having your movie be shown for the very first time, you're gonna do it at a drive-in. Me, that I'm horrible with technology and everything. I'm like, what are we gonna do? How is this gonna go?
You
But
need
I'm
Bluetooth. You need a
excited.
Bluetooth radio in the car.
Yeah, I'm like, I the other day I asked, I was like, do I have that? Do I do I have that? You know what? I have to put
You
my phone.
better stop and get one installed.
I don't want to die on it. Happened before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm
Yeah.
so
Cool.
psyched to go to this premiere tonight and to just catch up with all of my castmates and explore how the world is gonna react to this film. It's kind of
It's intense. It's intense.
Yeah, well, I guess we can't do any spoilers.
Yeah, we can't talk about
we
it.
can't really do a spoiler alert. It doesn't
no,
really,
no revelation. No, we gotta leave.
no.
Yeah. But what was it like working with Bobby Soto, who's a Latino, tremendous Latino like you. George Lopez, Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf, he looks really Latino in there, man. They had him looking very Latino.
Everybody worked really hard. I loved working with every actor on this production. Most of my work was with Bobby, and Bobby is a really special person and artist.
Yes.
Right? Like he is so deep in his work as an artist that he makes my job so much easier. It was so easy to just react off of what he was giving me. And we rehearsed for this film 2.5 months before we started shooting, so we got to really create that relationship. Right here we are exploring this 10-year marriage, these two kids that fall in love at 16, 17 and have kids at 20, 21. And he leads this lifestyle. He's él es de la calle, and you have this good girl that could have done anything with her life, could have gone on to date the doctor or anybody, made her happy. Instead, she attaches to herself and falls in love with this wild animal who has good intentions, but he's wild. He's no he's no walk in the park to do what he does. He can't be. He's very, very strong. And so I loved working through those dynamics with Bobby, where we explored everything down to like what kind of music did we listen to at our wedding. He and I would go to mass, to misa on Sundays because our characters are Catholic. So we would go to, mass on Sundays together. We explored different areas of Los Angeles where we're supposed to be from. He and I wore wedding rings. There was a moment where he and I, lived together for a few weekends, like just exploring each other, brushing our teeth together, like everything that a couple would naturally do.
So you could be natural together.
Yeah, and we spent a lot of time together. Mind you, we spent every single day together for 2.5 months before we started shooting. And that was the master plan of David Ayer for us to build that organic chemistry. Right? And and that's part of the work. It's what you do in front of the camera. There's so much preparation that goes behind that the camera just picks up, has a very great way of just picking up that chemistry and that energy that you've created behind the scenes. So loved working with Bobby. I have so much love for him, and he's incredible in this movie. He's a true artist. I always say that he's special, and it's not always the opportunities that we have to work with actors like that are very generous. Same thing with Shia. Shia is who he is. He's incredible. He's authentic, raw, genuine, and he inspired me so much. I've always been a fan of his work, and it's one of those like pinch me moments when you get to work with the people whose work has inspired you along the way. And he was just incredible on set, to just giving me advice on things. He was always very generous with information and was a champion to all of us, and really appreciate that. You know, George, I grew up watching the George Lopez show, and my
Yeah.
family and I were huge fans of George Lopez. So of course, I geeked out a little bit. And
Yeah.
when I first met him, and he was just cool, man. Like the first day we met, again, same thing, just
Yeah.
helping us
Down to
pave
earth.
the
Down to
way
earth.
for,
Funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
helping us pave the way for this new generation of Latinx actors, and just putting us on, putting us on game,
Yeah.
letting us know how we can continue to pass the, how we can take the torch and move forward, right?
Sure. That's
And
wonderful.
and what I love about George is that George loves his fans, man. That was something
He
that
does.
yeah, he loves them, and
Yeah.
he, anywhere he goes, he stops and talks to everybody, and is so personable and is so funny, of course. But what's really
Mhm.
interesting, he's so different in this film, right?
Yeah.
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 Yes.
That's
You
true.
have a completely different side of him, which
Yeah,
is
that's true.
amazing to see. I remember the first time he came into our rehearsals. We had been rehearsing already for two months, more or less, and during like the last 2 weeks of rehearsals, he came in and he just sat in the corner, and I was like, holy shit, George Lopez is here. Oh my god, he's just like watching us do our scenes. And it wasn't there to like judge or anything. He was there to play. Like afterwards, he was like, yeah, I really liked that like moment. Like, that was so cool. Like he was there to play with us. And on set, same thing. So,
Wow.
I have the even more respect for Shia and George than I did
Sure.
before. Knowing their work from the outside, being able to work with them personally was like, okay, you deserve all the praise and the hype. You're incredible. You know?
So tell me what's in the future for you? Any future projects you want to mention?
Yeah. So yeah, before I go,
Mhm.
I gotta go get this,
I know, Mama.
bell.
I know you got important things to do today.
um, I want to talk about this film that I have coming out soon. I
Okay.
can't say
Yeah.
when,
All
not
right.
yet, but it's a film that is really important to me, and it's called Rifa. And it's the true story of Israel Rifa Hernandez, who
Hmm.
was a Colombian immigrant who lived in Miami with his family. He
Uh-huh.
and his family are actually from Barranquilla, Colombia, where I'm from. And in 2013, he died at the hands of police brutality. He
Mm.
was beat
Yeah.
and tasered to death uh,
Yeah.
while he was spray painting a wall in Miami,
Mm. Mm.
I
in Miami
remember
Beach.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this happened in 2013, and it's really unfortunate because it's 2020 and the family still hasn't gotten the justice that they rightfully deserve.
Sure.
Hmm.
Israel was not a criminal. Rifa was not a criminal. He was
Yeah.
unarmed. He was a boy, right? He was young.
Yeah.
He
Mm-hmm.
was painting. He was doing what he loved the most. He was spray painting. He wanted to make a name for himself. When people were coming in for art basel, he was
Sure.
doing what he loved the most. And
Yes.
what's incredible is that you look at this story and you really think to yourself, art is not a crime.
No.
And
Mm-mm.
why did he have to pay the ultimate price? Because the very people that are meant to protect us here in America are killing us, right? And so we
Yeah.
explore the tragic days before, the days before the tragic event of him, passing away. And we explore his life, his real life. This movie took 6-7 years to write. A female director,
Wow.
Jessica Kavanaugh Dornbush, who's an incredible director, took it within her own power and hands to follow this story for 6 to 7 years and speak to everyone, his friends, his family, and created this beautiful script that will show the world who Israel was, that he wasn't a
Sure.
criminal, that
Yeah.
he was a young man, an immigrant, with his family trying to make it here in America, like all of us, right? At least
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
can speak for myself in that
Yeah.
sense. I'm an
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
For
immigrant
sure.
family, and we see him with his family, and I play his sister in the film, Ophir Hernandez. You know, I got to spend some time with her, and the film is very special to me in so many ways, because not only is it about a family and a boy from Barranquilla, where I'm from, but a family that immigrated to Miami, Florida, where I grew up. So when I read the script, like I said earlier about the signs, right? The little signs. That's one of the projects that I felt like it was my story. It was my story. It was my family's story. It was our story as Latinos. And it was imperative that I play this part. Like, I remember reaching out to the casting director, and I was like, you let the director know that there's nobody that's going to play this part better than me. This is me. This is my story. This is my hood. This is where I grew up. This is my culture. This is me, and I will do anything to play this role. That's how much it meant, you know, and I'm a small piece of an incredible story that needs to be told. That our goal, and the reason why I believe we all came together with so much love and passion with this film, is because we want to raise awareness for Rifa's life. And fun fact, last thing I'll say, the movie was supposed to come out March 20th, I believe. I believe it was like it was at a Miami Film Festival. We were gonna have our premiere night, our world premiere. And we were up for some awards, and it was incredible. And the day that I fly into Miami for the premiere, we get shut down because of COVID.
Wow.
We're devastated because we had worked so hard on the movie. But guess what? Everything happens for a reason. 4 months later, here we are in 2020, where look at what's going on in the world right now. Where police brutality, it seems to be more rampant than ever, even though it's not. This has been going on for a long time. The difference is that people are filming it. And we're raw to it. We're very much aware of what's going on in America right now. And so this film could not be more timely. Everything happens for a reason. I'll say it again. And hope you guys watch it. It's an incredible story. It's an incredible, true story. And we did it with a lot of love, and it's got a lot of heart. So that's my that's my baby right now. You know, Tax Collector will be out next week, August 7th on video on demand.
That's going to be
and the whole world
August 7th.
Can check it out. It's coming.
It is. We're looking forward to that. I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy it. And it's too bad we can't say, but we loved it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. Thank you so much. You're wonderful. It was a pleasure and an honor to meet you. And we have to get you our information so you can come and eat a lot of Cuban sandwiches.
Yes. We just want to say God bless you. And keep doing a great job.
We'll be praying for you. We'll be praying for you.
Much. I love what you guys are doing. I loved your energy. Thank you for letting me. You know, I was a little stressed out before this premiere tonight, and this brought me kind of like it felt like home. So I
you know what? Let me share a word. Let me share. We're ministers too, and that's one of our million hats we wear. But let me just share a word that everything's coming together for you, and God's peace is reigning over you, and you're finding it. So everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine.
You're gonna make me cry before my
No. Listen, have a great time tonight. Have a great time. Congratulations on the release.
Do what you gotta do, and you have fun tonight.
We love you. God bless you.
Adios. Let's stay in touch, okay?
Yes. Okay, Mama. Bet. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.